7 weeks ago on July 2nd, I went in for a routine prenatal appointment at 10 weeks. It was a deeply wanted pregnancy, but at the appointment, there was no heartbeat. She had died. Had to code switch from medical counsel to navigating Texas law to determine whether and how I could safely move forward. What should have been a heartbreaking but straightforward medical procedure to prevent infection and remove the pregnancy turned into an even bigger nightmare. The medication, misoprostol, I needed to soften my cervix to have this surgery safely wasn't called in by accident that Wednesday evening. At 8 a.m., I woke up to a frantic call from my OB's office. The pharmacist said they couldn't release the prescription, even for $1.65 out of pocket, because they needed more documentation to confirm it wasn't an abortion. I asked if it was because of Texas law, and the pharmacist said yes. All to get access to basic, safe care that should have been mine without a fight.
College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists and the American Academy of Pediatrics both recognize the female cycle as the fifth vital sign of health that women should learn to monitor beginning in adolescence. And so our society would do well to recognize all women are smart and capable of learning to observe the signs of their cycle and using that information to interpret whether or not they may be fertile or may not be.
I mean, come on, you guys, we deserve better than this. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic, they studied 23 large, well-conducted studies and found that 21 of them, there was an average of 44% increased risk of breast cancer in women who were taking the pill prior to their first pregnancy. And it says women who use, another study, women who use the pill for 5 to 9 years have twice the risk of cervical cancer and 3 times the risk if they're using it for over 10 years. And although the risk of uterine cancer and ovarian cancer go down on the pill, there's 6 times more breast cancer in women than uterine and ovarian cancer combined.
I feel like doctors are so quick to be just like, yeah, and like not even like tell you like the risks, because after looking at the risks, like if you go on the internet, like there are tons of women who like have liver tumors and like growths in their livers attributed from long-term use of birth control. Like it's not even like, oh, it's a chance that it was caused. Like it was like, no, it's like a direct link. Or things you read, it's like, oh, like strokes and high blood pressure, stuff like that. The liver stuff isn't talked about that much, and that's what really scared me. I was like, I'm having liver issues.
I just feel so safe here. After I visit Mom in the hospital, I always was so glad to come back here. Now here I am again. Only this time I'm pregnant. It's funny, huh?
What's that, honey?
Well, it's just that I have another human being inside of me. It's just that I have another human being inside of me, and I've never felt more alone.
There are some programs that do exist, but having a few scattered programs across a massive, unequal country is to reveal how deeply disconnected that we've become from what it means to carry life, to bond. Adoption is not a solution. It's not evil either, but to offer it so casually, like returning a product to a store.
Objectively, you're choosing potential death for those other 9 embryos. And so again, objectively, that is not a choice for life.
When we talk about reproductive rights, is the basics of it. So let's give our partners, our female part of the world, choice to decide whether or not and how they will have family and children.
The right to decide what our bodies are able to do, when we want, with whom, and so on.
Doesn't mean mothers are supported. It means that we have built a patchwork system and hoped no one looks too closely at the holes. Well, I've looked. I live in a rural town. There are no postpartum centers here, no recovery retreats, no in-home nurses. Even telehealth is hard with slow internet. And the few luxury centers that do exist, more than rent, how many working class mothers can afford $1,000 a night? When pro-life advocates say there are programs, what they often mean is there are programs if you live in the right city, have the right insurance, enough money, a working car, no other kids to care for, and time to fill out paperwork. That's not care. That's survival by lottery. It's strange how we treat the arrival of life with such ceremony and then retreat the moment it gets messy. We don't have a care system. We have a moral performance, and once the curtain closes, the mother is left behind in the wings to bleed quietly.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. A friend of a friend is having an affair with her boss, and she wants to use one of the tests to try and get him to leave his wife. She was willing to pay a pretty penny for it. $10,000.
Oh my God. $10,000?
No, I can't accept that. We've been through this, Jules. You earned it.
We cannot claim to love life and leave its creators to die in the shadows. We cannot claim to value children and ignore the cradles that are collapsing under pressure. We cannot call this civilized. So if you care about life, then show up when it begins as well.
It almost swallowed. Somebody's watching me. Is my anxiety.
Oh, did she tell you? We've got a little something on the way.
No what, a baby?
Why not?
Why not? Ever since I've known Millie, the good things of life seem to make their way carefully to her.
Does that include me?
And they're focused on that path to get a baby, but don't realize that. And so uninformed choice is not a free choice. It's a manipulated choice, actually.
Hello, Julia. How did you get in here? I was wondering when you'd be back.
How did you get into my house, Alana?
Are the tests ready yet? Because I need them. Now.
No.
That's not how this works, Jules. We had a deal.
I don't owe you anything.
Fine. Then I'll go to the cops.
I thought you said it wasn't illegal.
I think that they'd be very interested in what I had to say. I'll tell them that I was forced into it and it was your idea, and when I wanted out, you got violent.
I'll never believe that that's not true.
Really? How are you gonna prove that when you're the one that's pregnant? I can't make positive tests. You can. You recruited me.
I didn't, and that's not true.
Isn't it though? You needed the money.
Okay, let's do it. I will take the tests. You will handle the clients.
It really sounds like it was your idea. Now, take the test, Jules. Alana, I said, take the tests. Now. We don't have time for that, Julia. Was that so hard? I'll leave the money under your doormat.
I don't want it.
Okay, sure. If I were you, I'd be very careful with who I share this information with. I'm keeping my side of the street clean, so I expect you to do the same. We are building something special here, something lucrative. And we're not stopping. Not now.
Alana, please. You don't have to do all this. There are other ways. I talked to Drew. He's gonna talk to his lawyer friend tonight.
You didn't hear about the father of your baby? He was involved in a hit and run. He's in the hospital.
What does informed mean? If we are truly informed that an embryo is a new, unique, substantially whole human being, and you said, I am choosing this way to create a child, I'm choosing life, I'm choosing this even though I have to take 10 of these embryos and select the best one to transfer, objectively, you're choosing potential death for those other 9 embryos. And so again, objectively, that is not a choice for life. And this may be more challenging then to carry a baby to term. And so through IVF, you make the baby. So again, why is the pregnancy rate not 100% with IVF? If the issue is making the baby, that's been done, right? What that means is the issue might be in the embryo, or in the transfer, or the implantation, or in the pregnancy itself. And so infertility is a symptom of an underlying disease. And women deserve a diagnosis of what's causing their infertility, because that is not only causing infertility, but probably have a ripple effect on their overall health. They find themselves paying, on average, about $70,000 for a treatment to have a live birth.
Myself, and I'd be like, hey man, like, you're not crazy for questioning. You're not betraying anybody for questioning this. You're wrestling with this. And that's because God has something inside of you that he needs to show you. And it's not going to be anything you can do. It's not going to be the good angel and the bad angel. It's not going to be your family. It's going to be something higher, something bigger and better than you could ever imagine. And when you're at night and you're looking yourself in the mirror and your eyes are red from exhaustion and your bones are shaking and you're tired and you know that this isn't what you're meant to do, I'm going to need you to lean in here. I don't want you to take anybody's opinion. I don't want you to take anybody's religion. I need you to be so brutally honest, one, with God. I want you to invite God into your life and say, God, I need you to show me who you really are because I'm at my end here. And then second, I need you to be a man of God.
I want to understand, I guess this goes both ways. I want my girlfriend to understand how hormones are influencing my behavior.
Yeah.
And I want to know how hormones are influencing her behavior.
Yeah.
What advice have you got for me?
Well, the first is, do you know her cycle?
Moving on.
No, seriously, get to know her cycle. I'm gonna give you gold right now.
Now, some of you may have never heard these studies before about the romantic side effects. I think they are fascinating. So what's interesting is that when you ovulate, a lot of good things happen. So it's funny, on Shape magazine, it's not like they're trying to get you to not take the pill, but they actually did a article called Weird Ways Your Body Hints at Fertility. Dr. Miriam Law Smith, the lead researcher of this one study, said that fertile women display fuller lips, plumper cheeks, brighter eyes, and they had all these studies about what happens when you ovulate and when you're fertile. When you ovulate, your cheeks are pinker, your voice is more attractive. Actually, both men and women in these studies said a woman's voice was more attractive when she was fertile, when she was ovulating. And in fact, I love this. It says, When men heard fertile women speaking, electrical activity in their skin increased by 20%. They were like, whew, there's something going on in this woman.